The Diplomat, 20th of March 2023, fears of a regional conflict prompt China to send military drones to the DRC. China is one of Africa's most prominent state actors, having enslaved most of the continent and meddled in its domestic affairs. Attack drones are coming from China to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, raising fears of a possible regional war involving Rwanda and the DRC. China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation will soon deliver 9 Caihong 4, CH-4, attack drones to Kinshasa to aid in the battle against the rebels supported by Rwanda on DRC territory, according to Africa Intelligence, a news outlet based in Paris. Experts are worried about the arms deal with the DRC because they fear the war could worsen if the weapons fall into the wrong hands. The DRC and Rwanda have been at odds more and more lately. Rwanda allegedly shot down a DRC fighter aircraft in late January for violating its airspace. The United Nations, the United States, and other African nations have all made failed attempts to normalize the situation. The 1994 Rwandan genocide, which resulted in the mass murder of more than 100,000 people, left the Great Lakes area of Africa with deep insecurities. 5.8 million people are currently displaced throughout the DRC due to a resurgence of violence caused by armed groups. According to Ibrahim Magara, a peace researcher and lecturer at Loughborough University, the West is reluctant to engage in arms sales with the DRC due to the country's history, but China may do so in a clandestine way, using the conflict as a proxy to provoke and test the reaction of the West while also securing a foothold on the continent. Only a war of aggression in which the DRC employs Chinese drones against Rwandan civilians, according to Ben Hunter, an analyst for Africa at-risk intelligence firm Verisk Maplecroft, would draw significant criticism of China. Due to its diplomatic clout in Africa, Hunter noted, China has not faced significant backlash for its use of drones in other African conflicts. He continued that the comparatively minor implications of these drones for the US-China relationship have also limited Washington's attention. Not just the DRC is showing an increase in interest in China's armed drones. Nigeria was one of the first nations in Africa to purchase Chinese CH-3 drones for counterinsurgency activities. China's Winlong drones were successful in putting an end to the rebellion in Ethiopia's recently concluded civil war. Still, the Ethiopian armed forces were accused of committing war crimes during the conflict. According to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, (SIPRI), China has sold the most weaponized autonomous aerial vehicles worldwide, 282 combat drones, to 17 different nations in the past 10 years. UAVs. Comparatively, in the same period, the United States, which has the most sophisticated UAVs in the world, only exported 12 battle drones, all of which went to France and the United Kingdom. Wim Zwijnenberg, a humanitarian disarmament project leader for PAX, a Dutch peace group, stated that Chinese drones are significantly less expensive than American drones in the same category and probably come with fewer questions. Additionally, China offers adaptable payment methods to customers. The Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group, CAIG, Winglong 1 and 2 appear to have improved. Several African nations, including Nigeria, Morocco, Egypt, and Ethiopia, have now acquired and are using these drones, said Zwijnenberg. The WL-2 is thought to be more dependable than the CH drones because it has a more significant cargo and a more extended range. In recent years, we have witnessed the active use of WL in several African states during either civil wars or anti-terrorist actions, such as in Ethiopia and Western Sahara. However, experts claim that the main reason nations are turning to China is because of export restrictions put in place by the United States. Washington is restricted in selling its combat drones by the Missile Technology Control Regime, an arrangement made in 1987 to forbid the spread of chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons delivery systems. Part of China's dominance of the global combat drone market can be attributed to a significant state-funded initiative to modernize the nation's military forces. Its most famous drone, the Caihong 4, is frequently compared to the American-made MQ-9 Reaper, and the well-liked Wing Long 2 is considered comparable to the American-made MQ-1 Predator. However, assessing the efficient use of these drones is challenging because African users have not provided accurate data or figures on drone usage as a whole, according to Zwijnenberg. Beyond drones, CPRI noted that China sold more weapons to sub-Saharan Africa in the past 10 years than Russia or the United States combined, and at a rate that was nearly 3 times greater. In light of this, the DRC has attempted to establish a balance between the United States and China, but the conflict with the rebel groups supported by Rwanda may be forcing it back into China's camp. With nearly 70% of the DRC's mining assets under control, China still has considerable influence over the sector. Beijing now has a stake in the DRC, a significant copper and cobalt supplier to China. Renegotiating Chinese mineral contracts demonstrates the DRC government's commitment to lessening Beijing's influence, a former President Joseph Kabila's legacy. President Felix Tshisekedi has worked to strike a balance between the DRC's ties with China and the United States ever since he took office in 2019. The DRC and the U.S. signed a Memorandum of Understanding on the growth of the electric vehicle battery sector in December 2022. A DRC court recently prohibited China molybdenum from running the Tangkafungaroom mine, the most extensive world-size cobalt and copper mine, over claims that the company neglected to disclose thousands of tons of deposits and cheated the government out of royalties. In addition, as part of a 2008 Infrastructure for Minerals agreement, the DRC government asked China for an extra $17 billion investment last year. Tshisekedi asserted that despite the Sycommons deal being a component of a joint venture for cobalt and copper with Chinese state-owned companies, Congo had not reaped many benefits from it. However, the nation's persistent security issues continue to plague its citizens, stalling the changes. The DRC leadership may be compelled to rekindle its cordial relations with China amid the ongoing armed conflict and impending elections.